Hi, guys. It's Pam Turner from Academic Coaching for World Changers. And it is a Saturday, the 14th of March. And I can tell you, I've had an entire day of coaching from all around the United States. And I really kind of felt like I needed to just do something to address this elephant in the room when it talks about this virus that's going on. So COVID-19 is how I'm going to refer to it. And I just really want to make sure that all of my world changers and future world changers and people who are out there just really take care of themselves during this really, really tough time. It's a tough time. Our code of ethics says that we are supposed to be available, give, provide in the time of a public emergency. So many of us are giving of ourselves, but I just really want to make sure that you take care of yourself as well. Okay. So I start off my morning. I tutor all day on Saturdays, and my morning started off with a 7 o'clock session. And all day long, all I heard was, there's nothing left on the shelves. There's no bread. There's no milk. There's no trash bags. Trash bags. I don't know. Um, there's not toilet paper or paper towels or cleaning supplies. And I heard it from all around the country. I started off this morning. My first session was in Pennsylvania, had someone in Louisiana, Alabama, at Nashville, Michigan, a couple of people. So it's been a really long day. And I think I have a really good idea of what it's like throughout the United States. So this is what's happening. These are the shelves. So it's panic. And many of your clients are wondering what we do. What do we do now? And I can tell you just from personal experience, I am old enough to have lived through what was the HIV scare. I've told you before, I graduated from school in 1992. So when I went straight into private practice once I had my LCSW, and that was right in the beginning of the HIV crisis. And I remember at the time we did not know how to get HIV. We didn't know whether it was just breathing on someone or it could be in the same room. We didn't know how long the virus lived. And that was for me, that was 25, 26 years ago. And I can tell you that I remember a very I won't say large, but muscle bound black man sitting in my office, and I was pregnant with my first child, and he had just been diagnosed with HIV. And I've never felt so helpless in my entire life. He was married, and his wife didn't know, and then at that time it was the gay disease, and he reported that he had not been with men. Um, and I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. I have never in my life felt so worthless as a clinician. I'd got my master's degree, I'd gotten my license, and I thought I was so fully prepared that anything life could bring. And this man sat in my corner and he cried and he cried, and I didn't know what to do. Um, and part of that, again, I've told you I'm the generativity versus stagnation, making sure that I give back. And I don't any clinician, every therapist, any counselor to ever feel that way again. So let me just kind of at least give you some tools to make sure that you understand, what you can do. As many of you know, I was supposed to travel to Bali in 2 weeks, and obviously that's not going to happen. But I will tell you what my own doctor told me is keep in touch with the CDC, not the news, not the what the news is always making sure that we get like the headlines, but you can just go to the CDC website and actually find out what's really going on. So the best help your clients, always make sure that you know what is accurate and what is truth. My concern now is for my clients, and after today, I had several clients who shared with me that again, I teach social workers and clinicians how to pass the test, or I coach them on how to get through the hurdles of being a clinician. I heard a lot today about what it was like. You had clients in your office who were really freaking out, who didn't know what to do. And again, my concern is you taking care of you. So let's just kind of look at this whole kind of secondary traumatic stress as opposed to burnout. So many times when your clients are telling you things, especially where we're living in the same world, they're reporting to you that they don't have toilet paper, and you're thinking, I don't either. So we really have to kind of be sure that we separate and have those clear boundaries of what it's like to make sure that we can take care of our client. So we do know that the secondary traumatic stress, it can contribute to burnout, definitely. There's a faster recovery rate, definitely. But if it happens in coincidence with burnout, if you've been in your profession for quite a while, the same job for quite a while, you've experiencing some of those like I can't give enough. I can't give enough, and my own family needs this stuff. So the secondary traumatic stress, individuals can take steps to reduce their secondary trauma. And that's really what I want to talk about is making sure that you take care of you because you're world changers. You're amazing people who are out there helping the whole wide world. Your clients are depending on you and you've got your own stuff to deal with. Someone asked me today if we are first responders. And I have to say, yes, I really do. I think that we're on the front line. We're the ones who are there when our clients are so anxiety provoked and driven and panicked about what to do. We're the ones that come in their office and we're supposed to say, you know what? It'll be okay. We'll figure this out. We'll problem solve, and we've got our own stuff in our head. So it's really okay. The goal is always that you take care of you first. And someone asked me today in general, what was my biggest concern? My biggest concern is not that I will get the virus. My biggest concern is not that I will spread the virus. I'm a social worker at heart. I'm a social worker at heart. So my worry is that I see these families that many times are making the minimum wage, barely what it takes to get by, and they depend on breakfast and lunch for their children, and they're out of school. They're out of school. And it really wasn't until later in my career, and I'm sorry for that, but I didn't realize that for many, many children, that summer was not a good time because their family did not have the financial support it took to feed them for the summer. So now this is very unexpected. If mom and dad are working a minimum wage job or working in our fast food restaurant or any restaurants, things have closed down, things have shut down. They're not sure where their next paycheck is going to come from. And now they've got kids at home they have to feed. So that's where I'm at personally. That's where I'm at. But let's go over just some things in general. So we are in a crisis mode. Your clients are calling you, whether it's for counseling or services, they're in a crisis mode. And we do know the importance of this crisis intervention method. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plan and conduct a crisis assessment. And we're not talking written down a full biopsychosocial assessment sometime. It really is the client calls you and says, I really am panicked. I don't want to die. I've got a compromised immune system. I don't know what to do. We really start at that plain level. Just really conduct a crisis assessment. Are you really safe? Is everything okay with you? Establish rapport very quickly. Identify what the precipitating problem is. So, are they worried that they won't have a job? Or they're worried they won't have food? Are they worried that they won't be able to survive if there's a huge outbreak? We don't establish feelings. We don't explore feelings and emotions to level 4. For many of our counselors and social workers, that's a very different world for us. But the first thing we're going to do is look at those basics. If we go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we're looking at those very basic things that need to be met. Okay, I'm going to generate and explore the alternatives, develop an action plan, and of course, you all know the main goal of crisis intervention is to return them to their previous level of function. And this won't last forever. I know it feels like it does, and I don't have a magic wand. I don't have a globe I'm looking into and shake it up. I can just tell you, based on experience, based on what's happening going to the CDC, this won't last forever. It really won't. At the time of this recording, it's March 14th, and we've seen a huge reduction of the cases that are in China. But again, I don't expect it'll be over anytime soon, and we just really need to be prepared for that. Okay? So again, what I said to you is burnout plus the secondary trauma of hearing what your clients are going through leads to compassion fatigue. And I've talked to many of you today, and whether it's for coaching or just kind of getting you through this process, it's just you're tired. You're tired. Like, oh, this is so heavy. And at the end of the day, I get home from work and I go and there are no paper towels and no toilet paper, and I've still got my own family to take care of. So Let's remember our priorities. I am not good to anybody if I'm not good to me first. I can't be a good mother. I can't be a good counselor. I can't be on call. And I teach college. And I can't give you what I don't have. So let's look at how we take care of ourselves. Okay. I always think that if this were that important, it would be on the test. And maybe one day it'll be on all the tests. But self-care is what we always preach. A healthy work-life balance. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, and if you know me at all, I'm a workaholic. Yes, I am. But workaholism is not a virtue. Professional self-care. Take breaks, go for lunch, call your mom, take a stroll, do whatever it takes to make sure that you take care of you. You can't give what you don't have. I'm also a published author, and one of the articles I wrote was the importance of, putting on your safety mask first, your oxygen mask when you're in the airplane. So, the airline, the flight attendants always tell you, should something happen, take care of you first. Because if I don't have enough oxygen to breathe, I can't take care of anybody else. I just don't have it to give, and I can't give what I don't have. And we know that with our clients. Sometimes we're asking our clients to give what they don't have. But wait a minute, what about us? We've really got to take care of ourselves so we can keep giving. Okay? Stress management. I'm going to suggest that, turn off the news. Turn off the news. If you want to know what the CDC says, go to the CDC, the website, and look. But turn off the news. Many of the stations play the same thing over and over and over again. Turn it off. Get away from some of the social media. Social media, as many of you know, it's doomsday. The world is coming to an end. Let it go. Let it go. You want facts? Go to a reputable source. Smart self-care habits are like eating healthy, connecting with others, get rid of the toxic information. And I'm not saying close your eyes and pretend this virus doesn't exist. That's not an option. However, you can choose when and where you get your information. We live in a society that information comes at us at all times, all the time. But I can choose. I can choose when and where I'm going to get my information. So you know what? If you've worked all day and you've got people who are worried about how they're going to pay the bills and they're in a panic attack and they're not sure what's going on, don't come home and watch the news. Come home and take care of you. And then later on, go back and Google. Look it up. And I don't care what your favorite news source is, but it doesn't have to come at you 24 hours a day. Okay? In addition, and again, I'm not a scientist. Don't pretend to work for the CDC. But what I can tell you is how we get through a crisis and this will not be the first crisis, definitely. And maybe if you're young in the field, this is the first one you remember. But I promise you, you'll find many more crises in your lifetime. It just is what it is. It's part of our lives. But having that coronavirus is definitely, we've talked about, staying in. And for me, again, I'm a college professor and I'm home for 2 weeks. But there are things that it doesn't prevent. I can't go to the gym on Monday, or I choose not to go to the gym on Monday because I need to be safe and healthy. However, being outside by myself is great. I can go for a run or like jog. I can meditate, do some deep breathing. I can take a break. I can just kind of stop what I'm doing and take a break. I can choose not only who I spend time with face to face, but also who I let in my life. I don't need any Debbie Downers. I don't. The world is enough of that right now. There are facts. There are facts in life. There are facts that this is the coronavirus. There are facts that we've shut everything down. There are facts that people are dying. I don't need you to bring that in my life. I just don't. Facts are facts. That's not going to change. And if it was a test, it'd be objective, right? Objective as opposed to subjective. Those are facts. But I don't need any subjective people coming to my life with Debbie Downer telling me how awful the world's going to be. I can't. I just can't. And I suggest to you, you let go. Laugh at least once a day. There's some great memes out there on the coronavirus. Let it go. You cannot control everything. All I control, or what I think I can control, is really, really little. And for me, who's a huge control freak, letting go is a big deal. But really laugh and enjoy life. Eat healthy. I'm sure your doctors told you that, and I'm sure everybody else has told you that. I have a couple of clients who really talked to me about the importance of boosting my immune system, adding some garlic and some onions, fresh garlic and fresh onions to my diet. It's really just to increase my immune system. Avoid emotional eating. I'm home for 2 weeks. I'm home for 2 weeks. Can I tell you my refrigerator is stacked? It is full. Would emotionally eating really be good for me? No, not at all. Not at all. Journal and learn to say no. Learn to say no. There are things I just cannot do. And even as a parent to my kids, I have said, no, you can't do that. My youngest one is out of school. No, you can't do that. And for many of us, we really want to kind of make sure that we're a good parent and we don't want to be overprotective, but it's okay to say no to your children, to your peers, to your coworkers. It's okay to say no. Take care of you first. If there's not enough of you to go around, what are you going to do? And stop overthinking, whether it's for this or the test. Don't overthink. I'm really bad about that, and I'm really trying to get really curve what's in my head, but don't overthink. Don't overthink. Look at the facts. Facts are facts are facts. So again, go to a reputable source, and just understand the facts. If you have a compromised immune system, if you have a history of diabetes, if you have a history of cancer, any of those things, you have to be careful. Those are just truths. But I can choose to then isolate myself, and take care of myself. And for those of you that do have to work, I'm sorry for that. But of course, you've heard everything and everything the CDC says. Wash your hands all the time. Personally, my hands are so dry, I could scream. I had to go out and buy actually a really good moisturizing soap for my hands because I really, really dry skin and my hands crack. Because I'm like, oh Lord. But you just have to do what I have to do for now. Okay. I just want to remember the 4 R's of trauma-informed care, because a lot of your clients really will see this as trauma and they're coming to you and they don't know what to do. So those 4 R's, of course, are realize the widespread impact of the trauma and understand the potential paths, that everyone is going through this. Not everyone is going through it at the same level. There are people whose trauma level is here based on their past, based on the stuff they bring into the situation. There's people whose trauma level is here because we're just kind of waiting for things to pass. But this truly is affecting everyone that we know, and we really just have to be aware of that. Recognize the signs and the symptoms, okay? So whether it's my family, my staff, my clients, recognize the fact that there's trauma going on. So if my client can't wait to see me and he's getting in and I say, I'm only doing online sessions this week and he freaks out, I need to recognize that trauma. I have to respond. Respond is by making sure I know all the information possible. I know how to respond to a trauma. I know what's going on every day. And unfortunately, the news changes every single day. Again, I work for several major universities, and every day I've had different information of what I'm supposed to do. And for people like me, again, who like to be in control, it's scary because I can't control. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be tomorrow. But at least respond by integrating what you know, again, from a good reputable source, and not necessarily what the evening news says or what Facebook says. Resist re-traumatization. Don't go through it again. Don't go through it again and again and again. We want to make every effort we can to kind of let go of that. And again, if you haven't been through traumas before, it'll happen again, guys. I'm sorry. That's just life. I began my career right at 1992, and that was the year that the big hurricane hit South Florida. And we've gone through the hurricanes. I've gone through many hurricanes. I've gone through some really scary stuff. So just know that you too will survive. You've got what it takes and you'll survive. And not only then, you chose this profession, so not only did it survive for you and your family, but your clients are depending on you. But you're not the be all and end all. There's no magic wand that makes everything better. You give them the sources that they need, but set those boundaries. You got to go home at night and be able to sleep. Okay? And how do I protect myself from getting re-traumatized? Release my feelings. If you're a Freud person, the catharsis is crying. Let go of all of those feelings. Change my atmosphere. Walk away. Go for a walk. There's nothing the CDC has said that I can't go for a walk when no one's around. So if it's late night, early morning, take your dog out, take yourself out, get outside. And I know many parts of the country it's so cold, but get outside. Fresh air, take it in. It's okay to seek a therapist. It's really okay. Most of the best therapists have therapists. It's okay to seek someone, supervision and consultation. So that's important also. You don't have to necessarily have a therapist, but I think in general, and this is not for the test, in general, you need to have people who understand what it's like to be you. So some of my best friends, the people that I consult with, are fellow clinicians. So they know where I'm coming from and we can support each other. Carefully schedule. Especially when you're doing back-to-back cases and people who are very much involved in this trauma, give yourself a break. Schedule a little further out. Do what you need to do to take care of you. And of all, please have good boundaries. Don't take it home with you. As a college professor, one of the things that my students really know is, especially early in their career, is, and the analogy I use is it's flipping burgers. It's flipping burgers on your day off. Do you go up to the McDonald's and wonder about, do the burgers taste good or the fries season right? You don't. You don't do that. It's a job. And I know that many of us are in the world because we want to make a difference, but it's still just a job. Shut those boundaries. Go off, do what you need to do, and close those boundaries. You've got to take care of you first. I can't tell you how important self-care is. Okay. A little meme there in case you need to smile. I'm pretty sure 10 months from now, because we're all self contained, you might see a little bit of rise in the baby boom. It's been a pleasure, guys. I really hope that you take care of yourself. I thank you for everything that you do, not only for the world, not only for yourself, but all the clients that you seek, that you treat. And I know it's a difficult time. I really understand that. I do. I am a teacher, but I'm a clinician at heart. I'm a mom. I'm a single mom, and I have all those things that I'm supposed to take care of as well. So, but one thing I have to tell you is take care of you first. Okay. It's been a pleasure. And remember, I know you're worried about testing. Will those testing dates be postponed? And what will I do? And oh my goodness, but this too shall pass. It really will. Okay. Again, you know where to reach me. You can find me on Facebook or you can always follow me on YouTube. And of course, my phone number is out there. If you go to my Facebook page, you can always reach me. It's been a pleasure, guys. And thank you for everything you do for being world changers. Bye.